Standing posture, awareness in the soles of the feet. Let the feet become, let the feet absorb the floor. Let the feet spread. Find the outside edges, not with the feet, but with softening into the hip joints, softening into the lower back. Let the muscles through this area change, through the center of the body change. So the thighs roll out, the outside edges of the feet connect. In the base, we rise up to the crown of the head. Soften the chest, we let the shoulders drop open. Spread the back. Elongate the neck. Let all the muscles fall off the bones. Some will feel less sinking downwards with gravity. Some will feel less spreading outwards. As the muscles soften, as they detach slightly from the bone, there's an outward spreading feel. Opening up into parallel stance. And settling down. First loosening exercise. Rather than moving from one position to another position, it's a bit like we're putting forces into the body, putting a force on the body and the body moves. And changing the quality of the muscle condition and creating space and softening the muscles and connecting down to the ground. That allows the movement to take place. And releasing. That allows the movement to take place. Rather than thinking of moving the body, rather than thinking of pushing, rather than framing the body as a weight that I have to pass from one foot to another, just take something away. Soften the muscles. The connection sinks in the body. With the muscles softening, the body can turn. The movement is very gentle. First, I release. I connect. Then turn, continue releasing. Release. Often we move, we turn horizontally, or we turn spiral, or we turn, but we haven't fully released. So that puts ourselves into a twisted, tighter position than when we started. And our body holds that tightness. In push hands, it's what we're looking for in our partner. When we move, we want to let the muscles fall off the bones. When the muscle softens around the bone, it loosens and opens up. This creates much more space for the fluid movement. We want to soften and drop the muscles off the bones and allow that process to keep taking place while we move. Soften and turn. Soften on the inside, let the muscles fall off the bones and let the movement be free. Very different from feeling like you actively have to push yourself across. We're framing our movement differently. We're moving from the inside. We're loosening ourselves. Without losing our structure, we're loosening ourselves so our movement can be free. And often when we're pressed onto the ground, when we're connected strongly, we feel that in the muscles of the legs. And it feels like we're strong. Right? It feels like there's a density in the body. We're centrally stable and we're strong. But often it's just the muscles tightening against our weight, giving us the feeling weight of the body. When the muscles are soft, the skeleton holds us up. And the skeleton doesn't have the nerve endings that the muscles do, so we don't feel it as much. And the force of the skeleton holding us up can be just as strong. But because it's through the bones, not through the muscles, it doesn't feel as much. So we don't feel as fully pressed onto the ground as we might do when we feel our muscles working hard. But it feels like we're doing less. And it feels like our feet are much, much softer on the ground because we're allowing the structure to support and the muscles can further relax. So we try and soften the muscles in order to move. We try and release the muscles so that we don't turn into a tighter position. We don't wrap the muscles around into a tight position. We soften the muscles. That gives more freedom of movement. Creates more space to turn without tightening. Enables us to stay connected through a greater range of movement. And number 2. As we move down an inch, our ankle position is going to change. Our knee position is going to change. Our hip, the angle between the thigh and the body is going to change. Ankle, the knee, and the hip, all those 3 parts of the body, all those joints change. We want to make sure they're changing evenly, and we keep the connection from the ground through the bones clear as we lower ourselves. The muscles melt, and the connection through the bones through the center of the feet stays strong. So as we drop, we're not holding ourselves off the ground. We're not supporting ourselves with the muscles. The muscles are melting. We're finding a way the bones can organize to support us right through to the crown of the head, both in sinking and in lifting. So I'm only lowering myself if I feel supported by the floor. I'm not lowering myself and using the muscles. I'm lowering myself because my alignments are changing. That brings the structure of the ground up through the body. So if we were to see on the beach, you see these kind of objects stacked up one on top of another, and the force goes somewhere through the middle of them that enables them to be balanced. That's what's happening here. The foot, the shin, the knee, the thigh, the hips, they're not in a straight line. They're in a bent line, but the forces that go through them enable the bit above to be balanced on top. And that travels right up to the crown of the head. And I want to find that alignment from the foot. So from the first bit of dropping, I find it the foot to the knee, to the hip. Centers connected on the first swing of the arms. Then through the spine, shoulders, back of the neck, crown of the head, right the way through the whole body. So I'm not thinking about lowering myself. I'm thinking about finding support from the ground that rises through the body to the crown of the head. So the body is connected. The whole time I'm moving down, the body is connected. And the model I like is that the structure of the body is like a lift shaft, and what's sinking is the lift. The letting go is the muscles softening, the lift sinking, if you like, and the structure of the body remains. And it's not just sinking, it's opening outwards. It's opening outwards. It's the muscles falling off the bones in all directions. Turn. If you don't release, you'll end up moving yourself into a tight position. There needs to be sinking of the muscles to enable softening of the muscles, to enable the structure of the body to turn further. Release and turn. In equal measures, release, find the stability, soften onto it and turn. Foot to crown of the head. If we turn too much and we don't release, we tighten. If we release too much and don't turn, it's probably better. Probably better to release and connect with less movement than to over move. If you move too much and you don't let go, or the letting go isn't in proportion to your movement, you will tighten your muscles and move yourself to a wound up, twisted position that will either pull you out of alignment or lock the body up. And it's what we're listening for in push hands in our partner, but we don't want to do it to ourselves. So we combine the sinking and the turning. We combine the letting go and the sinking, downwards, a vertical sinking, with a horizontal turning. Better if our letting go is not just sinking, but off the bones in all directions. And the turning is supported by the release. The more I release, the more I align, the more the turning can be very light, very fluid and very light. The more I hold on or don't let go, the more I turn, I'm going to get to a place where I'm tight quite quickly, because the muscles wrap around. Any tension in those muscles gets, like a tea towel that you wring, or towel that you wring, it gets tighter as you wring it. The muscles soften, you can turn as much as you want and they don't tighten to a limit. Obviously to them. Then you can see why these exercises are called the loosening exercises. But of course, there's a lot more going on than just loosening. I want to get you to feel, if you look at my sleeve here, when I turn my hip this way, it pulls on the shoulder. Look at the sleeve, it draws up the arm. The shirt moves this way, pulls the sleeve up the arm. And also this one, when I go forward, when this hip comes forward, get it to work. No, I can't get it to go that way. What am I trying to say? See the way the shirt pulls back? We want our arm to pull with the body, so the shirt almost doesn't move. We don't want this distance here opening up. As soon as the shoulder moves, the arm wants to move with it. So it's connected. It's not stretched and then moves. It's not thrown out, elastically stretched and moves back like it's pulled back on elastic. It moves with the body because it's connected. It moves with the body because it's connected. That's going to come into our next move that we do in the form, where we go from single whip here into raise arms. How this arm moves with the turning of the hip, the sinking into the base, the drawing in to draw the hand in. So let's have a look at that in the form, and then we can go through the form to that point. From single whip, have a look first. Find the left foot. What does that mean? Melt through the body with an intention to change your connection onto the left foot. So the left foot supports your full body weight with as little movement as possible. So it's like you're just beginning to walk onto your foot, but you're not moving your center of gravity forwards. You're making the changes as if you're stabilizing your left foot, but you haven't fully committed your center of gravity yet to moving onto it. Let's just have a go at playing with that. So from a 50-50 posture, you're finding your foot, but your center hasn't really moved onto it. The foot becomes more stable. The connection from the ground comes up to enable you to be supported. Only then, when you've got that feeling, oh yeah, my leg is there for me, do you move on to it. Because if you move on to your leg before then, you will tighten your muscles to give you that support. And instead of using the structure of the bones to support you, which you've drawn up to the center, then you can put your weight onto it. You will move over your foot. You haven't quite got the stability you need, so you'll generate stability by tightening. So our first little experiment is to move from single whip forwards onto your left foot. And you can do it with a very slight turn. Very slight turn. So straight to the foot or with a very slight turn of the body. It says clockwise turn. I'm going from here to here, dropping in. With beginners, we glide forwards over the foot until the center of balance is over the foot, and then we turn. Because the sinking is difficult, drawing the connection up through the body to stabilize you is difficult for beginners. But We don't just want to move over the foot because we'll be unstable. We want to change and sink and then move on to the foot. So practice that a little bit first. When you feel stable on the front foot, you can just let some of the weight come out of the back leg until you go onto the ball of the back foot. If you look at my back foot, find the connection in the front foot and then lift up the heel of the back foot while I'm sinking further onto the front foot. If you get the idea and the feeling of that, get stable in your center of gravity. If that feels stable, soften your chest too. Soften your shoulder girdles. Let your synchronization of the base sinking and the upper body softening be one connection. So the force rises through to the sternum. Then turn. Okay. First bit is to draw the connection so that you're very stable on the left foot. The turning with the hip draws in the hand, just like this sleeve trick. Don't just pull in the sleeve and leave the hand behind. All one movement. Scooping, scooping. This movement comes from what the shoulders do. It doesn't come from the wrists. Here my shoulders are staying still and I can scoop my hands quite nicely, but here my shoulders are changing to generate the movement in the hands. And it feels like my elbows are coming together, or really that my elbows are rotating. Not really that they're coming in because I don't want to get too closed here, but this movement is important in the shoulders. And the body turns and draws the arms with it. And the whole movement looks like this. Find the front foot, draw it up through the body, turn, scoop with the hands, spiral on the front foot as the front foot releases, draw in the front foot, sink and push out the heel. Facing 12 o'clock. Raise hands. The hands are in this position. You could fit somebody's elbow in your hand and their wrist in your other hand. It's catching an arm. Okay, so you want, if there's a relationship here, if so here, this is somebody's arm, this is their hand, you're on their wrist with this hand and on their elbow with the other hand. Hold it, raising hands, drawing in. This is an elbow lock. So somebody's left arm, this is on the elbow, this is on the wrist. Snap. At the same time, you're sinking down. In the fifth loosening exercise at the end, we slide in the toe on the floor, we sink and push out the heel. Slide in the toe, sink and push out the heel. Here we do the same. We slide in the toes, sink and push out the heel. Find the front foot, turn, scoop, slide in the toes, sink and push out the heel. There's no weight in the heel of the right. If I swing the foot through, it just misses it. I want to get the posture accurate, but I also want to get the dynamics of how I can move, sinking the whole time. So the sinking into the front foot is slowed down So I can be sinking right the way through the whole posture. So it's not sink, find the front foot, turn, sink. It's one smooth sinking the whole way through the posture. Have a go. Play with that a little bit and see what you can find. And any thoughts or explorations we can look at. I'm just going to have a look at your moves. Good. The, the big principle is how the body stabilizes on the front leg. And then the smaller movements are what the arms do around that. So it's like the core of the practice is getting the stability on the front leg, getting that stability right through and up through to the sternum crown of the head, turning around that core and then drawing the arms in harmony with the turning of the hips. So the finished posture, we don't want the arms too close to the body. We want some space between the elbows and the body. And the hands are turning the whole time. So they start off palm down, both are palm down when you begin, and they're turning the whole time until they're both palm up, 45 degrees palm up. So they're turning like this the whole time. This is the movement of the hands, and the movement of the hands is around the frame of the body. It's a whole body movement in one. Don't worry about falling over. Don't worry about losing your balance. Try and feel rather than do. Try and feel rather than do. Try and feel where your stability is. Feel yourself releasing more. Finding your balance through release and connection. Mm. Okay. Any thoughts on that move? Having done it now half a dozen times or more.
Yeah. Do you are your hips to 12 o'clock?
No, no, the hands are to 12 o'clock.
Yeah,
The hips are slightly before 12.
that's good.
Yeah, you like that. That makes it easier, doesn't it? So the posture's facing 9 o'clock. You turn your gaze and your hands are to 12 o'clock. I'd say the hips are more to like 11.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the heel, putting the heel down doesn't twist the hips any further. It's
no,
just at the end. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly that.
'Cause, I was just there. I was trying to get to 12 o'clock with my hips by pushing the heel into the ground.
No, no,
That's the only way to do it.
don't have an extra, don't try and get because
Mm.
you'll force the left knee
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
try
I
and
was doing
turn the
that.
hips too far. You want
Okay,
to
good.
you want to continue that sinking into the left foot. and it'll find its place. It may be 10:30, it may be 11 o'clock, it may be 7 minutes past 11. It's different for everybody, where you can, how much flexibility we have in the hips, how much fluidity we have in the muscles, different with everybody, different even every time you do the form. But you listen to what your body allows you to do, and you don't go beyond into, I must find the posture at the expense of tightening up somewhere. Much better to stay under the posture, even if you don't reach 12 o'clock with your hands, even if you only reach, you moving with the Tai Chi principles is more important than the form. We use the form to find the Tai Chi principles. Don't break the Tai Chi principles to make the form look like you think it should. Keep to the Tai Chi principles of releasing, softening, stabilizing, becoming harmonious, body, mind, one thing. Find the posture that your body lets you find. It's not about the same shape as me or anybody else. And it's interesting, because I look at there's a video online and someone spliced together Chen Manqing, Master Huang, and Wei Jin. All the same lineage, all the same teaching, and yet their forms look completely different. I think it's great. So how can you say one's right and one's wrong? You have to start saying it's not about that. They're all inside what they're doing contains the Tai Chi principles. Sung, letting go, body synchronized, connected, mind flowing through the body following that intention, and the posture arrives. More or less the same, more or less. And what we're listening for is, what does my body allow me to do today? And I'm not going against or pushing against or trying to make it fit into a mold. What I'm trying to do is listen to all the parts of my body, that all the excess muscles I don't need, I'm letting them go. I'm trying to find the simplest connection to the ground, to the crown of the head, and I'm trying to flow around that connection, keeping it as simple as possible. Because for many years, what we try and do is achieve, and feed this achieving mind state of, this is what this posture looks like, and put yourself in that posture. Even if you're feeling unbalanced, even if you're feeling tight, get into the posture. But no, it's Tai Chi is different from other activities. It's not about results. Tai Chi is a process. Tai Chi is a process of exploring and unfolding and learning, primarily about ourselves. It's a beautiful art, and it can be a really ugly art at the same time if we go down the other line of just making it right and correct. So trust your inner sense of what you want from your Tai Chi. It's a funny thing. I'll tell you a story. I don't think I've said this story before. In push hands, for a long, long time, you think you're throwing someone or you're issuing someone, you think you need strength. The more fluid you can be and keep to the connection. Unfortunately, to learn it, you have to move really slowly. You have to move slowly. And Jim was just saying earlier, I'm finding my Tai Chi slow. Great. Comes a point where you can do that any speed. Someone pushes you and you can maintain your connection, you can maintain your fluidity at any speed. You don't break, you don't pull away, you don't tighten, you don't get frightened or into flight or fight response. You just be fluid with it. And your Tai Chi can get very, very soft, but like the Tai Chi conundrums, also very, very strong at the same time. And you find yourself throwing someone without really feeling like you did anything. Doesn't happen all the time. but it happens occasionally, enough to prove to yourself that you don't need the old type of strength that you thought you needed. And then that, for me, that pulls me forwards and say, okay, if I don't need it, if it can happen once, it can happen twice. It doesn't happen every time, just something comes together. You feel like you don't do anything, the person goes flying. It's quite a nice experience because it kind of motivates you and gives you encouragement. But we get those little tastes all the time in our Tai Chi. I let go there and I feel stronger. I let go there and I feel more stable. I let go there and the movement feels more fluid. These are really important things in our practice because they're all to do with releasing and taking tension away. So let's go through the whole form to lifting hands. Okay. Give yourself time to move or to shift from that thinking, doing brain into the feeling, experiencing brain, where your awareness of the sensations in the body activates you, where there's nothing to do, just listening to your simple balance on the ground. Head top connecting up to the hands, the feet connecting down to the earth. We're releasing in the center between the two, connecting the two. Anywhere in the body you don't need to be holding on to, let it go. Unnecessary holding, let it go. Let the knees bend. Feel your connection to the right foot. Let the right foot stabilize you, taking your balance so you can move the left. Sink to both feet as you move across. Turn in, release, come back, sinking to both feet. And reorganize. Open the knees to lift. Release the muscles of the legs to soften and drop. Let the shoulders follow. Let everything finish sinking together. Turn. Sink to the left foot. Turn to hold the ball. Sink to both feet. Small expansion of the back knee through to the hands. Find the front foot. Stabilize on the front foot. Move onto it and turn. Step left. Sink into both feet. Square and move. Open the back knee, expand the arms. Connect to the front foot. Let it stabilize your weight as you move onto it. Turn. Step right. Sink into both legs. Stabilize. Expand the back knee to turn to the corner. Sink to both legs as you sit back. Turn open. Sink to both legs as you move in. Let go of unnecessary holding. Open the back knee to press. Sink back. Sink to both legs as you move in. Let go of unnecessary holding. Open the back knee to push. Sink to the left. turn, sink to the right, let it support your weight, turn, holding the ball, turn to 12 o'clock. Open the back knee to expand into the arms, single leg, sinking. Find the front leg. Changes through the body before you move on to the left. Turn, scoop. Draw in the left right toe, sink. Push out the hip, lifting hand. Okay, the last few moves again. From the push, sink through the whole body. Won't necessarily just sink onto the back leg. Sink through the whole body as you move back. So the front leg is connected and the back leg is connected when in this position. They always say you should, if you have a piece of paper, they say the Chinese are money conscious, and they say you should always have money underneath the ball of your foot that you won't let go of. As a way of saying, keep the front foot connected. So don't send everything to the back leg and have the front leg loose. Sink to both legs. So as you come onto the back leg, your front leg is still connected to the ground. Holding on to that note, holding on to that note. Sinking. As you sink, your hands level out, parallel to the ground and open out. Turn. So you've already got that connection now. You can let go and turn around it. How far you turn is up to you. If your body is very fluid, you can turn quite a long way. If your body won't let you, if you feel you're turning and you're tightening up somewhere, that's as far as you turn. It's really important to listen to how you move. Without stopping the turning, sink to both legs and move to the right leg. Now the ball of your left foot is holding that note on the ground. Turn. Hold the ball, hands on the center line of the body. Turn, lift the left fingers. Now you're facing 12 o'clock. Draw the left toes in. Step with the heel. Your foot doesn't have to be facing 9 o'clock. Your foot can face whatever it faces when you step. And then as soon as your hips turn, this is when your foot turns open to 9 o'clock. When your hips turn, your foot turns open 9 o'clock. Turn your back foot in. And the final sinking and turning is the sinking into the center. And expand the back knee. The final sinking drops the elbow in. The opening of the back knee through to the sternum opens and turns the hand over into single whip. Then the new move, drop onto the front foot, find the connection, turn around it, scoop, draw in the front foot, sink, push out the heel, lifting hands. Close together, not apart. Remember, you're catching an arm into this position. You're not catching an arm, so you're moving in to hold an arm. Your left hand is closer to you than your right. Let's try that from the push together. 50-50 connection, weight in the right foot. Sorry, weights 50-50. Right foot forward, I meant to say. Fingers at the height of the base of the throat, one span to the body. The reason we say this is so that the shoulders, when the body softens, the shoulders drop. When the shoulders drop, it pushes the elbows out. It's not that we put the elbows in the right position. It's that we find the quality of change in the shoulder girdle that lets the weight of the arms be given up. When the weight of the arms is dropped, they say keep the elbows heavy. It's a bit of a misdirection, really, because it puts your mind in the elbows as if the elbow's dropping. What you really want to do is soften through the chest, soften the upper back, let the shoulder girdle rest. Now, for something to rest, it needs to rest onto something. So you need to find the support from the ground through to the sternum. The support from the foot to the knee to the hip, the center of gravity stabilized, sternum stabilized. Now the shoulder girdle's got something it can rest over. And just like when you pour honey and it lands on something, it flows. The muscles will flow if they're soft. What shape will they take? They'll take the shape of what's underneath them. So just like when honey flows over something, it flows over the shape of whatever it's flowing over. So the shoulder girdle will land on the structure underneath and spread. Now, this is why the elbows are talked about one span from the body, because they spread to that distance, and we end up with a sensation of connection right through to the fingertips. So that connection from the ground now is right through to the fingertips. There's nothing held, there's nothing floppy, and yet it's buoyant and connected. This is the posture we want. So when we go into push, that's the posture we're looking for. From the feet, both feet, letter Y, upside down letter Y, shoulders released, connected. Keep that connection as you draw back. Keep that connection as you turn. Keep that connection as you pass it to the right foot. Keep that connection as you drop the left hand underneath. Keep that connection. When you step out with the left foot, don't point the toes to 9 o'clock. Just place the heel behind you. Turn the left foot with the turning of the hips, pivoting on the left heel. As soon as the left foot faces 9 o'clock, the right foot can start to turn in. Final sinking drops the elbow, and the opening of the back knee turns the hand over and expands the hook. Find a connection in the left foot so that it can maintain your stability without tightening the muscles. This is why we do it slowly. Find a connection so that as you move on to the left foot, you don't tighten the muscles. You turn, scooping the hands, drawing in the right foot, sinking, pushing out the heel. Same connected feel through the arms as pushing. In fact, there's not that much difference in the posture. One hand's forward, one hand's back, but the shoulders are connected in pretty much the same way. In the posture, have a play from the push position. Single whip and raise arms or lifting arms. Just do it a few times so I can see everybody's moves. Okay, have a look. Couple of key things really. Um, Let me just change my view a minute. When you come into single whip, the left hand lifts. This is the height it's going to stay at. So don't lift it to here and drop it and then do some. It turns and lifts up to the height it's going to be at. The index finger comes to the wrist on the inside of the hook. It stays at that height. It stays at that height. The elbow drops, the hand stays at that height. The elbow drops, and as you open the back knee, it turns over. So the hand is all, once the left hand lifts, it's lifting up the inside of the ball. So the ball's here, lifting up the inside. Sorry, the outside of the ball, lifting up the outside of the ball. So you're holding the ball here, it's just coming up. It stays at that height. The elbow drops over the ball. The hand is more horizontal. The elbow drops, the hand stays at the same height, and then it turns over. So it's like there's a ball this way, and the elbow, as you sink, the elbow drops over. So all those sinkings go with they follow the body. So in this position here, the body sinks, the shoulder sinks, the elbow follows, and then the foot opens and the hands expand. That's one thing. The other thing is that the next move is completely scooping. Okay, it's the minute you begin turning, the fingers are scooping. Both fingers scooping. Continue turning, continue turning, continue turning, finish. There's no scoop, move, do something. It's all one scooping move and finish. Have a go. Those two things. For the arms to scoop, the shoulders need to be changing the whole time. Because the classics tell us the hands are the last things to move and follow the rest of the body. Single whip. From the push, single whip into lifting hands. Good. Looking better. Okay. So, so the inquiry becomes, here's a move, here's a shape I'm being asked to put myself into. Can I stay connected? Or do I break that connection to make the move happen? Can I stay connected in this posture? This is the posture I'm being asked to do. This is the shape I'm being asked to move from. And this is the new shape I'm being asked to move into. Can I maintain my connection through that sequence of changes from one posture to the next posture? Or somewhere in the middle, do I lose my balance, grip on with my muscles for stability and do the move? These are the questions we're being asked to do. It's not just about doing the form, it's about, can I maintain the connection through the form? Can I maintain the releasing through the changes? Can I maintain that sense of mindfulness as I'm moving, mindful of the sensations of the body? It's quite a big ask, Tai Chi, really. There's a lot going on, but it's a very it's a place where you can very rapidly um, get away from the everyday thinking, busy mind, and really allow yourself into the feeling sensations of it. More kind of more akin to our ancient mindset that isn't wrapped up in the busy world, just kind of simply being with our bodies. So I will send you the recording. Have a good week. Next week we will do shoulder stroke and maybe raise arm, white crane spreads wings. So have a good week. Any thoughts, questions, observations, bring them along. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.